Black Box Productions, Cliche 93 TV, SPI, VJ Keyway have a very, 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 very special guest in the Black Box. To y'all, she's known as Jaguar Wright. To me, myself, I call her Ellen J. Wright. And I would like to give her a proper introduction and explain kind of why I've nicknamed her Ellen J. Wright. Everyone probably under the sound of my voice at this time got familiar with Jaguar Wright, going viral, popping her she-knit, controversial conversation, dropping bombshells. Some considered her crazy, all that. I can recall becoming familiar with her online during that time, 5-6 years ago. And I remember watching her do a certain live. And on my mama, my dead homies, my daughters, my LOCs, my loved ones, everything I love and live for, my sister and my sons, even my granddaughter Heartbeat. I can remember watching her do a certain presentation, and in my spirit and my soul, something told me, she's Seventh-day Adventist. Something about her is Seventh-day Adventist. I couldn't place it. She didn't say no. She didn't give nothing specific to get that away. But as I continued to watch this certain live, she revealed some Seventh-day Adventist origins that made me say, I knew it. I knew it, cuz. So next time I went live, I just gave a general shout out to her into the metaverse, universe, or whatever. Showed her respect, kind of explained why. And throughout that process, we ended up speaking as the family we are based on our upbringing and things we're affiliated with. We're getting that to longer. But just to know this, I'm going to get onto it because I'm so interested to hear what she has to say. But as far as my introduction is concerned, so you can understand the nickname that I've blessed her with, the depths of it, the religion that I am familiar with, I was raised under, she and myself are both familiar with, Seventh-day Adventism. When it comes to the Bible, we have been taught a doctrine of a certain prophetess, a female, who is almost as equal to the Bible when it comes to what we believe, when it comes to doctrine. And her name is Ellen G. White. And she is not only a pioneer, but a prophetess to the extent where there are generations and generations of people have shaped their life off of her visions and things that she has went through and seen. So when I met my sister via social media and I knew her upbringing, and I saw her courage and her plight and her name and the way I play with words, I could do nothing other than name her Ellen J. Wright. And I am so honored to have Ellen J. Wright in the Black Box. I love you, baby. Welcome, finally.
Love you too.
Yes.
And finally,
yes.
I finally have a life partner that doesn't keep me from doing things that I want to do. He actually helps.
The rabbi. That's what you called me a long time ago.
Rabbi.
Yeah.
You know, when you first said it to me, I was like, "Oh no." And to hear it now, I get it. You know, we were taught to believe, period. And even as we moved away from religion, it's the foundation. Train up a child in the way he should go. And when he is older, he will not depart from it. I think the part that bothers most people when it comes to me is the fact that I know how to get rid of the man part of religion and just hold on to what is God. And that pisses people off because I keep defying the odds of man. You know, and it's just like, there's no way that's going to happen. There's no way she's going to make it through that. There's no way she's going to make it to next year. There's no way. And I just looking at Yahweh.
The boldness.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
I mean, you say no way. I say
Yahweh. Not Yahweh, not my way, not her way, but Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Catch up, keep up. I get it. And that kind of like, you know, it kind of like locks into why I give you the name, because the boldness it takes to do some of the things that you do, it's almost like Noah being the only person upon the earth saying it's going to rain enough to where everybody needs to get on the ark.
And nobody wanted to believe it until the water started coming down. And he was crazy and he was a nut and his family was cursed and everything was wrong. And for decades, they disgraced this man. You know, and then the water came. You know, and I wondered to myself, like I was talking to some of the guys over at Real Life.
The Blue Couch.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Blue Couch, Real Life, for
Couch.
believing in sis and keeping her with that lifeline to the public, no matter what it looked like. I salute y'all. Go ahead.
You know, and I was just telling them that, you know, people always have a lot to say about me saying that I feel most comfortable around killers. And they're just like, what are you talking about? I'm like, what do you mean? God is a killer.
God is a God of war. Exodus 28.
Best killer.
Bless yourself.
Excuse
Bless
me.
yourself.
Oh,
Bless
my
yourself.
goodness.
Bless yourself. It's
Goodness,
okay.
see, look
Yo,
at
get
that. Look at the
comfortable. It's
devil.
okay. No problem.
Oh, no, it's allergy season.
It's okay. Get them out of
And
there.
I have been
You good.
driving from region to region. We back on the road again, Charlie.
Salute.
Back
You
on
say.
the road again. And I don't mess with too many. What's in this cup?
What do you need? What would you desire? I apologize
in
for
this
not
cup?
asking. I think that's mine. It's tequila. If it is, yeah,
No, that's water.
what would
Thank
you
the
prefer?
Lord. Because I was like, oh, please.
What would you desire? You
Not
need
no
something?
Tootsie. No, I'm joking.
You literally took one of my. That's one of my questions. I want to know about the pink stuff, but don't get ahead of ourselves, please. Please.
No, but it's just hella interesting. All of it, you know, but for God. And God is a killer. And
God is a God of war.
And I say to people all the time, I do not think y'all understand the God that I serve.
Talk about him.
I really don't think they get it. They have created these ideologies about what they want God to look like to the world. But who told anybody God needed them to redefine who he is? You know, they keep you keep saying a lamb, but the truth is God is anything but a lamb.
Break that down. Expound, please.
You know, well, number one, a lamb is subject to be led around, to be victimized, to be all of these things. Like, people have spent so much time trying to humanize God that humanity feels as though they get to pick whatever pieces of God that they want and put it on. Or honor that, you know, CEO of religions, you know, Christmas and Easter only motherfuckers. You know
The majority of society.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's not God at all. And I said, I don't think people understand how cold my God is, because they read stories in the Bible. I was like, especially the flood, that's probably the most, like, the coldest story in the world.
Based on, I know the story well, but please break it down why you figure it's the most.
Well, just to give you the brass tacks, because I took my time with it on Real Life. So I'm not going to overdo it, oversaturate it, but it's real simple. There was a man that was minding his business, and it was him and his family. And a vision came to him out of nowhere, from the ether. From the ether.
So this is not a pre-existing prophecy that he was in tune with.
No.
Okay.
People keep forgetting there had never been rain before the flood. There was no need for boat craft. There was no need for it. So where the fuck did the design come from? From something that we're still using, technology we are still using today. Like, people keep forgetting. Moses... No, I mean, Noah was the first. He was the first Navy man. He was the first seaman.
The first, yes, of course.
The very first. There had never been a boat before then. So how is it that no one bothered to take the time? This is how blind the people were around him. Nobody bothered to take the time that he had an idea come out of the fucking ether, and he was able to craft some shit with his own two hands, telling his kids what to do, and it's perfect. Fuck that there's no water. damn, nigga, where you get this design from? Like, ain't nobody asking relevant shit. They're just laughing. They're laughing. And they're laughing. And then they get on their boat. And then doors seal up. And the water came.
Sound like,
So it makes me think about my life right now. Because right now, the water's about to come. Diddy's in jail. And it's raining fucking all holy shit for all of those people that praised him, for all of those people that were down with him, for all of those people that laughed at me, for all of those people that lied about me. She's crazy. She don't know what she's talking about. It doesn't matter if it's true. It's Diddy. He's not going anywhere. He's never going to jail. It's never going to rain.
hello, Noah.
How do
Lady
these
Noah.
people sound any different? They don't. It sounds like they all suffer from the same a selective hearing.
Ellen J. Wright, please keep prophesying.
You know, so here we go. Then now, clearly, humanity hasn't changed. But then I started talking about as the rain came, they were like, okay, all right, it's going to be over soon. Some shit ain't never happened before. But it didn't stop. And then the water gets higher and higher and higher. Now you swimming. You never had to swim before. How do you do that? Because right now, up until this point, these people weren't running around swimming in large bodies of water.
So it was a creek or a river was the biggest
It
thing they
was
encountered.
exactly, it was before the Pangea. There was no need for them to be going out swimming in the ocean. They had ponds, they had rivers, creeks. No, you're dealing with an ocean of water killing you. Making you tired, G. How many of them apologized to Noah while they were drowning?
You seen like what I've seen, the cartoons, the illustrations,
Like-
of people knocking on the door, begging to
Like,
get
imagine. But this is the thing, though. This is water. This is water. Something that we need, something that we've engineered, something that is a blessing, something that we cannot survive without. And water, something that you need, is strangling
in.
you.
Turning on you.
And I asked the guys, before I get into it, have you ever seen anyone drown? I have. 5 people. It's amazing.
Under what type of circumstances?
Just out of nowhere, at the beach, at the lake.
Separate incidences?
Yeah, all separate incidents.
And what do you get? What do you take away from that? I've seen people lose their life,
The
but not by
helplessness,
drowning.
the helplessness of everyone involved in that moment. Everyone is helpless. The only way another human being makes a matter is if that person can get there before the water takes over. Because once the water takes over, now you want a countdown for breath. And you still got to be able to get that person out of the water and get them to air, or be able to hold their head up until they get there and hope that they you know what I mean, that they catch it, because some people don't.
And without training, trying to save someone that is panicking is the worst thing you can do.
So how do you do that when you've never had to do it before? They didn't. Did they apologize to Noah? While they were sitting there, gasping for air, treading water?
Doubt
What about that last faint knock?
it. Right.
It's amazing. Water takes over a person. They can't breathe. They can't function. They're panicking, so their muscles become heavy. So now they're sinking.
Do you think those that was in that implosion had a moment to think of that, or do you think it was? Remember the submarine?
I think everybody thinks about everything, but I wish God could have like screenshot or screen recorded the flood for humanity in the future, so they can hear how stupid those people sound, because they sound real cocky. But the funny thing is they didn't want to listen to God, but I bet you they was calling his name when they was taking their last breath.
Are you correlating that to the times we're in?
Yeah.
Thinking that the warnings that we've heard about, that people are like
Totally ignoring.
thumbing their nose at, there's going to come a time soon or eventually where every knee shall bow every time.
Oh, well, you ain't got no choice. You ain't got no choice. But see, this is the coldest part about the flood. We talking about the water. We talking about the people. We talking about they sorry. We talking about the this. We talking about the that. Whoopty whoopty woo. But we're forgetting it was God that turned the water on. 15 days into the flood, he could have turned it off. He could have saved a few of them. And God looked down, and he kept the water on.
Fed up.
20 days in. 20 days in.
That was only 50% of the time.
Yeah, that was only half of the time. And the world was covered already. So that means for the few people that might have been able to hold on to a piece of the boat until things, they could have, and guess what? God could have turned the water off. He left the water on. Imagine you create something and it becomes so wrong that the only choice you have is to get rid of it completely. 40 days? Listen to me. Even if there was a little hummingbird, that nigga got caught up too. Everybody, anybody that wasn't, everybody. And guess what? God looked down with no mercy. No mercy. And left the water on.
Minus 8 people.
See, that's the kind of God I know I serve. He says, don't do this. You do it. You playing in his face, you having a great time. He say, don't do it. If you keep doing it, this is what I'm going to do. Whatever. You know, the funny thing is this man say whatever, and it's like, whatever.
Right.
God say whatever, and it's
whatever.
over.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, so I think the reason why people are so put off by me is because they don't understand why God keeps rewarding what is considered
chaotic.
No, just my overall lack of all due disrespect for authority.
Unorthodox, yes. You are arrogant.
I have no respect for human authority at all. Want to know why?
Or status.
Oh,
yes.
no. Well, see.
You an asshole, Jack.
Well, I mean, maybe, but
yeah,
I am what God made me.
But you an asshole that's celebrated in the culture because it takes that. So many people get so caught up in status quo and he, who, I.
Let me tell you something. Prime Minister come over to me, say something to me that don't line up right with God. If he offends me, I'm going to punch him in his fucking face. Want to know why? Because that's just another fucking nigga. That's why. He bows to the same God I bow to, whether he wants to or not. I do it willingly. He might need to be forced. See, people keep they keep thinking there are choices in this situation.
Correct.
And I can understand why the powers that be have an issue with me, because they spend so much time on creating these constructs and these rat cages to try to get people to corral them into obedience for them, but not obedience for God. See, you want my respect? You rock on God's time. There is no, I can't negotiate with that. Because how am I supposed to get people to believe in the real him if all I'm worried about is pretending to be what they want me to be?
Have you ever, at any point in your life, bought into the fact
Absolutely.
Trying to pretend?
Absolutely.
And can you explain what caused you to come to the realization of fuck that, I'm finna be...
The day I heard Memphis Bleak say, fuck Aaliyah, that bitch is dead. Beyonce is queen. With Dame Dash screaming. Oh, I got me some fire.
Okay, get hot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So,
I make it hot. Niggas won't even stand next to you. Yeah.
So Memphis Bleak speaking on Lee, in what fashion? Please run that back, 'cause I think I lost it. I was trying to help.
Madison Square Garden, I had just got finished getting off stage. Dame was going through the back cages in the back lot where, dressing rooms and green rooms is, and Beyonce had just gotten in there. Mary J. Blige on stage screaming like just a stuck pig, begging all the women trust Jigga Man because he know how to treat a woman and he know that and all of this. And I'm sitting there and I heard the voice, if you hurry up and leave now, nobody will see you go. And I didn't understand why I was hearing that. I'm at Madison Square Garden. I'm on stage. There's people out there, 7th Avenue, all around, saying my name. Why didn't they let Jaguar sing more? Why did they let Mary J. Blige sing that song? She messed it up. Jag, the one to sing it. Because it was a ceremony, see? Just like Unplugged was.
The Unplugged I was playing when you got here today, I was so proud of playing for you.
And I'm still
Did you
proud
appreciate
to hear
that, or did that irritate you?
I still appreciate it. It's some of the finest work any of us involved have ever done, which is why it's disgusting that they're slumping it, because it literally still is some of the finest work that any of them, including Sean Carter, have ever done. Why would you hide that from the culture if you cared about the culture? You can't, because you don't want people to go back and see what you hid, what you lied about, and what was really going on. While you're sitting there, you have me crooning in the background, singing for the angels over lyrics that you wrote for a young woman that you took.
Talk about the young woman that he took.
Aaliyah.
Yes, bless her soul, bless her heart. Rest in peace to the late great that never got a chance to even actually arrive. That was before her time, that we all respect and revere.
And look at that. Look at what the fear of man did.
Talk to me.
Because if anybody had truly been focused on God in that moment, they would have forced an investigation, and somebody would have snatched Hype Williams by the collar and just asked him some real questions until he cried.
You mentioned Hype Williams. He branded and marketed himself by being the darker version of what we appreciate. Bless you.
Excuse me.
Bless you. We get some tissue, please, someone. Yes.
Thank you.
So you just gave me like a brain thought that not only was his imagery dark, but you're saying Hype Williams somehow took the dark side to these issues. Yeah.
Well, Hype Williams is a homosexual.
Why are you so comfortable
turning
why are you so
straight
comfortable?
men homosexual?
But why in this time and day, 2024, the way things are, I know you like L&J Wright. I get it, but explain to the people why you're so comfortable being that bold with your speech and your separation one thing from the other. That's a word, even though it just describes a situation of my frame. You said with the wrong tone of voice, people can say you're being...
I'm a bisexual woman. I'm the B in the LGBTQ plus IA, XYZ, and all the other shit.
Oh, yeah, I did see you go through some shit there with a though. I'm going to give you a though.
No, that wasn't a that was a, I'm trying to stay the fuck out of jail.
Say less, gangster.
They put that crazy bitch on my bond, G.
They did that?
Yeah.
I don't, look.
I didn't even know who she was. All I know is I got out. I didn't know whose name was on my bond. I didn't know anything.
Before this is over, this is what we're going to do. When we're done, the last thing we're going to do is I want you to give me the opportunity.
That bitch needed me to believe that I loved her so she could stop fucking threatening to break my bond every day. Like, why is it that dudes is allowed, you know what I'm saying, to play the game, to get home? You know what I'm saying?
No, I respect the game. Now I have the opportunity to be chilling with you and we casually
Do I got a right? Beggars can't afford to be choosers.
There you go.
And I tried to go back to jail when I seen her. I asked her to take
But it's all good.
I said, you know what? Take me back to jail. You can look, take me down there, take my name off. I'll book in.
But you know what? You did push a hard line to the point where it was obvious you didn't give a. You feel me?
No fuck.
Yeah, it was obvious. It was obvious.
And guess what? I love that. Want to know why? Because it forced people to look at that situation for what the fuck it was.
Would survival be a good word?
No.
No?
Look at what this fucking poor simpleton was willing to do for a moment of fame. You allowed yourself to be drugged through the mud,
Disrespected.
Yeah, completely. And guess what? You stuck around.
Yeah, you a fool for that one. I gotta tip
Stuck
my
around.
hat.
For what? It wasn't for love. There was none there for you.
So what do you think the motivation was? Just the clout?
Absolutely. It was all YouTube generated. And there's ties that lead back to Transrena Kibi, you know.
I'm lost with that term, but
Tasha K,
oh, that's
Transrena. That's her middle name. That's what her mama named her. Her mama call her Transrena. I'm gonna call her Transrena.
So you and Tasha K don't get along.
Oh no. Like I went deep. Like I done sat down with like kinetic scientists and she's my enemy from a former life. Yeah. That bitch literally followed me to this life.
You went Ben Carson on me.
She followed me to this life because she was that pissed off that I shit on her in the last one. And guess what? It was the same relationship last time.
Look, you know, you are a genius, or you are notorious for saying things that are that crazy and things that make a whole lot of sense.
At the same time.
Yes, so please help.
If I'm crazy, God is crazy.
I agree. I think chaos rules this universe.
Well, I don't think, see, this is the thing. All of these words were invented by human beings.
Talk.
Now, if I let my beloved tell me, I believe the same symbol in the Chinese alphabet, they use the same symbol for tragedy and for opportunity.
Go on, Ellen, break bread. I'm listening.
I mean, so if that's the case,
Yeah,
is it
it's one
chaos?
and the same.
Is it chaos, or is it organized
Confused.
destruction, or organized confusion, or organized noise? Shout out to Pharaoh Mind.
Yin and yang.
So, you know, it's just funny because people love creating chaos, but they don't like dealing with the ramifications of it. People create chaos every day. God gave us 10 rules and said, hey, you follow these 10 rules, life will be cool. And guess what? What does humanity do? Break those fucking rules every fucking day. And
Just
then they
to unlock all the
hell they come along with
ramifications.
it.
Yeah.
If somebody tell you don't touch the stove because it's hot, whose fault is it when you get burned?
Or how many times do you have to touch it to realize you shouldn't touch it? That's easily.
Listen to me. I know a guy that was driving drunk and his girlfriend died in the crash. And he became an atheist because he said he asked God to save her. And you want to know what was really fucked up? We talked about that after so many years. And I said, question is, did she needed God to save her, or did she need to be saved from you? Because you was the motherfucker that was driving drunk to begin with. Like you've been mad at God because you got drunk.
Is this an individual that you are aware of has a history of having a connection with God, or is that just his thought to God?
This was a person that had a very strong connection, and guess what? Has found their way back to God in a more realistic, manner. But at the end of the day, we blame God because we choose not to listen to him. And I think that's what really makes my enemies despise me, because I embolden people to believe in God. Because if you believe in God, you really ain't got to worry about the rest of the stuff.
Oh, mama, with all the doubts I've experienced through my life, with all the belief I've experienced through my life, my encounters and engagement with you have strengthened my belief rather than deteriorated. Whether it's 1%, 0.5%, 0.1%, your experiences caused me to believe more in what I thought I believed in rather than less.
See, religion, that word is so divisive. It's created so much division. And it's just odd because people read the Bible and they really don't want to accept what's there. They want to believe the lies that they put in it to throw everybody off, but they don't want to believe the truth that's still very much so there. And if you go through every Bible, it's the same thing. A profound truth that seems to be universal in every other religion, with a completely differentiating access to it. So essentially, all a religion is someone's opinion about what they think God's word is. We know what opinions are like. They're like assholes. There's a million of them. Guess what? There's a million religions. Meanwhile, Yeshua goes into the synagogue.
Not Jesus.
Yeshua. That's his name.
Amen.
You know what I mean? And that's another thing. We're so easily swayed. You know, like we really don't break down the phonetics or the languages or the many different alphabets because there's more than one.
Speak, sister.
You know, it's just so funny for a universe that's been here forever that we actually think that people didn't learn how to communicate until the English language was invented.
I believe language, letters, and speaking are all crutches. I think at one time we communicated every and anything we would choose to without
Well, understand
the use.
this. If you look at ancient Egypt, you know, hieroglyphics and all of that stuff, you couldn't communicate if you couldn't create art because hieroglyphics were drawn little pictures. What if you don't know how to draw? How do you tell somebody you need water? How do you tell somebody you need more fish? How do you tell somebody you need this, you need that? If you don't need, like, art is such a huge part of our civilization and our life, even down to the symbols. And as you notice, it got simpler and simpler, which means people got dumber and dumber.
That's my point. And to this day, where now the most important thing you want to figure out right now, that you used to have to go to the library, to the fucking encyclopedia and research, it takes you 2 seconds to hit on your phone and gather information.
And yet, the more sophisticated technology is, the stupider humanity becomes.
My point. The smarter the phone, the stupider the user.
Relying on an image, relying on a picture, relying on a screen. How can you rely? What makes you trust that shit so much? Since fucking when does Google know more than your mama or your daddy?
When Google creates the world, I think we stop living a natural experience and we're living this created experience. So therefore,
the whole world is being run by AI. All of this shit is being run by machines. Human beings are not in control, and now computers are out thinking their inventors.
And what is your synopsis of that? What does that mean for our current moment?
What do you mean? What does it mean?
Is our future going to be positive, or is it going to lead to something detrimental?
I don't know how a future can be positive, because if we're relying on technology, technology has no feeling. Technology has no allegiance. Technology has nothing. Technology is just technology. So if we're dealing with something that's running the show that doesn't have the human element, that cannot understand humanity or what it means to be a human being, that means the decisions and choices are going to be made based on machinery alone.
So does this machinery calculate the most technical, favorable outcome? And
understand this. Technology was designed, no different than science, was designed
science is
to replace
something created?
God. Yes, science is created.
So God didn't create science, science created God.
No, science tries to disprove God. That's the point of science. To say you don't need to look for from here. We can recreate it.
And
it's so
figure it
funny.
all out.
Yeah, but with all of the scientists and with all of the money and everything, Cat Williams once said one of the most brilliant things.
That's a name I want to bring up to you. Shout out, Cat.
Shout out to
the GOAT.
Cat.
Go ahead, baby. Please keep building.
Well, he's definitely not a lamb.
Not at all.
But, you know, he was talking about, we know what it takes to make water. We know the ingredients to make water. What? Hydrogen, H2O. 2 parts hydrogen, 1 part oxygen, right? Like, that's pretty much the basis
That's
of it,
it.
right?
That's what we were taught day
That's
one.
the ingredients, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I go into the kitchen, can I make water? I know how to make, I know the ingredients.
Right, but I can't just do it.
Can I make it?
No.
Why not?
The tools?
Why not? Why can't I make water? If I know the ingredients, I can't go into the kitchen and just make me some water? Why not?
Tell me.
Because God made water. Just because you know what's in it don't mean you can make it.
Recreate it like oxygen.
Period. If that's the case, people be sitting out in the back of their house making water right now. Shit, I ain't going to fucking pool. I'm about to go.
They would totally create a whole nother earth, a whole nother everything,
and yet
without thinking about it. Right?
They get close to mimicking, but they can't.
Tower of Babel.
People keep trying to disprove God. Tower of Babel. How is the Tower of Babel any different than SpaceX? It's not. Not at all.
Elon trying to get the same place that they were trying to get.
I think Elon is trying to steal a little bit of God so he can be it somewhere. They're not talking about the fact that he's using alien technology.
But do you believe in the possibility of one individual being intellectually superior?
I'm going to say this to you right now, and it's probably going to be one of the most explosive moments that you've had on your show all year. And you're probably going to take a lot of heat for it, but I'm going to tell you the truth.
I want all the heat. Right?
Elon Musk is the beast. He is the second beast. That's who he is.
You know the number of his name.
Yeah, I know the number of his name.
It has to equal. The number of his name will have to equal.
Okay.
He will have to seek to change times and laws. And he would have to esteem himself above the Most High.
X is now directing NASA on what to do. SpaceX. Now, see, NASA is our national government space program to monitor what's happening between here and that's government sanctioned.
Do you think it's coincidental that Oakwood is in Huntsville alongside the original NASA?
Oh no, I don't think it's an accident at all.
I think let's not lose our audience. That's an insider.
And I think the church needs to start being honest about why
they're there.
Yeah.
Together.
Yeah.
Deep.
Our churches are lying. They are lying, and they are feeding in. Like, we shouldn't have African American Seventh-day Adventist ministers like Dr. Jamie Calisaw from Brooklyn, who's in Texas now, be moved around because he refused to stop having a very relevant conversation.
Which was?
How can we call ourselves people of God? How can we ask people to not bear false witness when we know Jesus wasn't right and we still got white Jesuses hanging up in our Seventh-day Adventist churches?
That's deep. But you know, as black people, even those that believe everything you want to believe black, I don't give a nut. When you see a picture of a black Jesus, even as a black person, you start feeling guilty, kind of like you're doing something wrong. Like, that's not quite it.
Want to know what's interesting?
Please.
Only in America, because Putin seems to have no problem with acknowledging the fact that Yeshua was a black man.
Hey, man, I've seen those type of
How does Vladimir Putin have more respect for who we are than we do?
Part of this podcast I was wanting to do is I wanted to name drop and get your immediate reaction to certain names.
Sure.
Candace Owens.
She's at a crossroads. I'm actually interested in talking to her. Because right now I'm watching the cabal come after her. I was kind of interested in why she decided to double down on Catholicism. But if you got the Jews coming for you, you need some kick-ass motherfuckers behind you. So I get that. The problem is that the Catholic Church is responsible for most of the confusion.
This we know.
In the separation between true Hebrews and true kinetic genius passed down through our DNA, and the Jesuits who took the sciences and perverted it.
I'm definitely familiar. That was the first name that came off my mind based on something you said a few moments ago.
She had a crossroads.
I agree so much. I can't believe you said that. Because I'm going to keep it real. I became familiar with Candace Owens a few years ago when she was going with the rhetoric anti-Black Lives Matter.
I thought she was a plant.
I hated her.
I thought she was a plant.
Yes.
And guess what? You want to know what? I think I was right. I just don't think she knew it.
And you don't think she's beyond redemption?
I don't know. I think everyone can be redeemable.
Amen.
Everyone is redeemable.
Amen. That's the gospel.
But I think she was a plant and she didn't know it. You know, that's the funny thing about the way that they have the construct of this world set up. Everything is based on a lie. The truth you feel inside you.
Intuition.
But everything around us is based on a lie. Lean not into thine own understanding. To lean on something is
all thy ways.
Is to boom. You know what I mean? You're putting support on it. Like I'm sitting in this chair. I'm resting in this chair. I have faith in this chair because I believe this chair isn't going to let me fall. Right?
Correct.
Same thing with understanding. Same thing with knowledge. We lean into that. We give it more credibility. But what if everything that's been put into your mind from the day you were born was a lie?
Well, you know what type of courage it takes to even consider that as a possibility? It takes extreme courage, especially when you've been programmed and indoctrinated. Like we have. I struggle with it all the time because I believe in things I don't believe in anymore. I definitely do because out of fear. Well, fear of hellfire.
The thing is it's not that you believe in it. You believe in the consequences.
Yeah, that's what I said. Fear of hellfire. I feel like I'm afraid to acknowledge my lack of belief in certain things. Even when I acknowledge it, I feel like I owe something an acknowledgement that I don't quite believe what I just, you know what I'm saying?
I feel
it's a brain fuck.
No, it's a mind fuck.
Yeah.
It's not a brain fuck. You know what I mean? Fuck. It's a mind fuck because the indoctrination in the lies is so cold that your mind just, even though it keeps rejecting it, it just goes, because it's programming.
Yeah, that's the point.
It's programming. And now the program is advanced. They're doubling down on the program. They want you to believe in the programming of the program. They want you to count on it.
As you build, I want to keep the name list going.
Oh, go ahead.
Goomba. Shout out to the homie with that crip lot.
Listen to me. The day y'all talked and you asked him where his origins went and he became confused of who he was cripping for and what it was and how it went.
I'm going to leave it at that because...
You know what? He did the same thing with his military service too.
Okay.
Pretenders are pretenders. The sad thing is that he took vows before God and he broke them for a pickup truck because YouTube told him, hey, we can make sure you're okay as long as you help us drag her down. He got that scared. He was that afraid. And see, fear is a great motivator, but it's also a great liar. Because fear will tell you, you'll never make it. It can't happen. It won't happen. That's humanity. You know, we're not here to encourage each other to believe in our superpower. We encourage each other to believe that it's not real, not to trust it. Why? Why do we live in a country where they're literally feeding us a diet that they know is going to make our bodies break down faster, make our minds break down faster, make our all of that?
Dude, to realize that our health message that we are familiar with is what really separates us from the majority of the world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And
Ellen J.
You can't. How do you justify all this treatment? Nobody's interested in curing anything, yet God has created nothing but cures, real life cures that cost next to nothing. And if you're diligent enough, you can grow most of this stuff on your own property.
Rest in peace, Dr. Sebi and Lisa Left Eye Lopez. Yeah.
And Nipsey Hussle.
And Neighborhood Nip the Crib. Thank you, baby. You see him? You see his face shining right there in the midst of us.
I know. I love it when he wears his Crenshaw.
No, I love the way you be shouting the homie out throughout your whole little shit. I see the respect you give him outside of our connection. It just lets me know the creator is in control.
Trying to do. Yeah. And they lined him up. And now I'm watching him try to do the same thing to Kendrick.
Shout out K-Dot. I want to keep my list of names going.
Goomba, what was my answer?
I forget.
I didn't.
You'll watch it on replay though. You went deep. You talked about your husband. How they call it? Was?
Yeah, that's what the gay boys call it.
Your cousin. Then I'm gonna call it your cousin.
Listen to me. He is my cousin.
Your cousin.
I didn't know he was my cousin when we got married. I found out later.
So y'all did the what they call it?
Well, no, he's my fourth cousin once removed.
That's still the shit. What they call it? What's the shit called?
Not incest.
Y'all did the
Incest is
thing?
first generation.
Only. We all cousins, huh?
Yeah, everybody's a cousin. I mean, the funny thing is I don't know why people be lying and acting like Americans haven't been encouraging family members to marry.
Let's not get off track. I want to keep my list of names going.
Rose, listen to me. Eleanor and Franklin Delano, wasn't it? Yeah, they were cousins.
I don't know the Delanos. Who are those? Who is that?
Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
Oh, Roosevelt.
Eleanor Roosevelt. They're first cousins.
Wow.
They're first cousins.
Tell me this. I want to know about.
Why don't nobody talk about that? Why don't nobody talk about in the state of New Jersey, it's still legal to marry your first cousin?
You know, you are pioneering a lot of conversations that people aren't talking about. So, if you
do you know where
talk your shit?
Do you know where Oprah's proxy?
I don't know what a proxy is.
Stedman.
Oh, Stedman. What happened to Stedman? He's still around?
Yeah, he's still around somewhere. I guess they let him out every now and then to do a press tour and put him back there.
Do we hate on Oprah for the fact that there's a Stedman, or do we respect her?
I don't know what he does, but I know he's
you
from
gotta respect Oprah. Then.
I know he's from Goulstown.
I don't know what that is.
Goulstown is a town in New Jersey.
Okay.
Tucked down around Salem County, where there used to be a lot of Klan and a lot of weird stuff going on. A lot of blacks passing, you know. But Goulstown, the reason why it stuck out in New Jersey is because everybody would always say, don't date nobody from Goulstown because it's all inbred. All inbred.
Well, Oprah has definitely...
No, Stedman inbred.
Yeah.
You ain't never noticed the eyes?
No, I don't know. I don't focus on men that closely. Stedman in particular.
No, I'm not saying.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I'm
just trying to keep it real, Jay. Let me talk. I know Stedman from like a vague representation in the back of my brain through the years. I don't know what I could walk past Stedman probably in the mall, I won't recognize him. I just know what Stedman is. But the thing about Oprah is, I think she is such a fucking anomaly because she rose to so much power and prominence.
Witchcraft will do that for you.
Without ever establishing or pronouncing a sexual preference. Nobody know what she likes.
Everybody know what she like.
We all assume what she likes.
Listen to me. Who was at the hospital crying for her when
Gail?
she broke down on the Ozempic?
Gail.
Where was Stedman?
Only know Still Getman. That's the only two names I know attached to Oprah is Stedman and Gail. I don't know where they fit.
I know where they fit.
Talk to us.
Everybody else know where they fit too.
But it's assumptions though, right?
No, not really.
Intuition.
Once again, you got this man that you've been with for 80 years and don't nobody really understand him or his pedigree or his background.
That speaks to her uniqueness.
No, that speaks to her magicianry, her witchery. He popped out of nowhere in her life just like, you know, Obama popped out of nowhere for some people. You know what I mean? Like
I'm glad you said that because there were some people, prominent blacks, that were awaiting Obama's arrival for a decade at least. And I just knew that because I had some of my childhood friends who were black prominents.
Why ain't nobody talking about why Michelle really didn't want to run. If we wanted to
Because
push
it's hers to have,
black,
huh?
if we wanted to push a black female for president, why didn't we get a real black female to run for president? Why is she refusing?
No, if Hillary ran after Bill, tell me why Michelle didn't run after Obama. You explain.
She refused.
Why, though? Why? Because she is the Kamala that they're trying to create in reality.
I'm telling you something right now.
And she's Candace coming in the future. She could have been it right now.
I'm telling you right now, they're hiding something. They're hiding her. They're protecting her from something.
Not this gender question.
I don't know if it's a gender question or not, but what I will tell you is this. Those tapes of the Obamas at the freak-offs is real.
Never heard that. I was hoping that you came here and...
No, they got freak-off tape, and everybody know it.
I heard Kamala may be on some of these tapes, and that's why Diddy is...
I don't know if Kamala on the freak-off tape or not. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if she's on a tape. She gets around.
Montel Williams.
Gavin Newsom. Governor Gavin Newsom.
Hey, you on the black box? This Jaguar Wright. You know she gonna drop a bomb, y'all.
If Judge Joe Brown is talking cash money bullshit about this chick and calling her a whore and a liar every chance he gets.
Told you, Screezy. Judge Joe Brown been on her bumper.
They are both professionals in the legal world. They all know the ramifications of what this is and what that is. How does a vice president sit around and let somebody call her a whore on social media and everywhere else he can? No gag order?
Well, the first time she had opportunity to present a platform, she gave Meg Thee Stallion the stage to share with her to kind of express whoredom.
Just expressing witchcraft or whatever it is. But I tell you one thing, that little lying ass bitch got up there twerking for America and then turned around with a karaoke band and started dancing and acting stupid and turning into snakes and shit and gobbling up little Tory Lanes everywhere. Why the fuck do we want her?
Why did they? This is another name, but I'm going to just drop this name in context.
Mega Man.
Mega.
That's what I call Megan Thee Stallion now.
Okay.
I call her Mega Man.
My baby mama asked me was she a man, but when she threw that first pitch out, so much femininity attended that pitch. There's nothing masculine about Megan. You know, she might be big, whatever.
And what about that picture that I seen where they untucked?
Did you see her throw that pitch out at the baseball game?
Listen to me.
That was a woman. That was a woman.
I hear what you're
Let's
saying.
not get distracted,
and
sis.
you would be surprised at what they can do in the transgender world. And let's also not forget, these people are wrapped around the land of make-believe. They're wrapped around Hollywood.
You're so
there
correct.
There are so many transgenders that have been on screen since black and white movies who was transgender.
That we have no clue.
Passing that you would not have had a clue. So once again, how was it that these people made it through all of these careers and nobody knew? Because everybody knew. And just like Cat Williams said, in the Illuminati, it is their greatest job to pretend that it doesn't exist.
And bigger than that, we heard the devil's biggest trick he ever put was to prove he
didn't exist. See? So when you got things that are mirroring things, see, it's an issue. It's a big issue. And more importantly than that, everybody knows that girl fucking lied about getting shot. Everybody knows. And there's a young black man sitting in jail for a crime
Free Tory. Oh, mama. Yeah,
Meanwhile,
I agree.
he got caught up in the middle of a freak-off. He gets brought there by the Hollywood Grim Reaper, Corey Gamble. They getting him drunk. They probably slipped some of that 2C in his drink. And then he's sitting there with fucking Mega Man. He's 5'5". She's 6'8" with heels on, looking like a whole fucking tranny anyway. You know what I'm saying? And they fighting. Like ain't nobody looking. And that's why I said what I said. When you think about Eddie Murphy and Della Reese in Harlem Nights, Yeah.
Yeah.
And guess what? When Della got on that ass and it got too much, his little ass got up, he got that gun and he shot her in the foot. Yeah. And everybody laughed. One of the funniest moments in the movie.
Yeah.
Why didn't nobody laugh when they was blaming Tory for it? Because the situation ain't no different. The dimensions damn near the same.
No bullshit.
So little nigga, it's a big bitch.
Right.
And they fighting him while he's high and drunk because they mad that he was about to go fuck a Kardashian. He was fucking the both of y'all, wasn't he?
Right.
See, there's too many, you know what I mean? And there's footage that proves it. What about the lack of GSR? You know, there was lack of GSR with Tory, just like there was lack of GSR with Shine. And yet, Shine went to jail, no GSR. Tory sitting in jail, no GSR. And Megan is turning into snakes and twerking for America with a lion fucking ass. With another lion ass fucking bitch who's talking about making collard greens in a goddamn bathtub. You know,
Tell me this. What do you do when you're sinking all 3 pointers, but we run out of time? I can go on and on, but we've exhausted our time here. When can you return? Because there's so much. I had like a ton of questions I haven't gotten to.
Well, you want to know what's interesting?
Yes, I do.
We're in LA.
Thank you. You be here for a while now? Is your home now? Or?
Well, this is the thing. My old man is from Compton.
Oh, that's the homie. I was born in Compton.
I'm originally from Philadelphia, but I live in Dallas. Everybody knows that. And we work in Vegas.
Philadelphia.
So we kind of live a 3-car Monty life. You kind of got to guess where we are. But Cali is home for him, and he's home for me now. So
well, no need to
Cali's
guess.
home too.
And I want you to know me casa, su casa, so the Black Box, Clichy 93 TV is my home.
I mean, the truth is, Spider, we've been waiting to have this conversation for about 3.5 years. So I think we would both be foolish to think we could get it all done in one sitting.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate you coming through. People do not know the humility that was attached to you attending this actual session, everything you had going on, and what it took for you to carve out this time. I am extremely grateful. The word that I market is JITA. And JITA is an acronym for gratitude is an attitude. So I want to extend to you one of the most deepest JITAs.
You know what you can JITA me with? You can JITA me with a plate. What we got to eat around here?
What you need? We're going to DoorDash something as we break this shit down. I got you. I promise you. On my mama. Do me a favor. That's your camera. And let my viewers know where they can find you and keep up with you at all times.
We've kept it simple and we've condensed it like 2C.
I want to know. If production didn't text me right now, we would be getting education on the Tootsie. Stay tuned for education on Tootsie when she returns.
Man, I will tell you, whatever it is, it was deep enough for him to get arrested with it in his pocket.
I think it's a PPP, a pink potent powder.
Oh yes,
okay,
yes. But the pink is just the food coloring. It's the food color, just like the Breaking Bad.
Say less.
So, my name is Jaguar Wright, and you can just find me at thejaguarwright.com. New website. You know they're always trying to find a way to wrestle around me and to shadow ban me, but I'm grateful to know that God brought me a partner who's not just my partner but also my producer.
What's his name?
Wolfgang Amadeus.
Shout out to the homie Wolfgang. So that's what I've been communicating with for the last week to get you here. Yeah. He served you correct, and I appreciate the way he handles everything. He's humble.
He's so much better than my second husband.
Shout out Goomba, though. That's the homie on Crip, because I can't say nothing bad about
Goomba.
the homie. That's the homie on Crip.
Shout out to Trooper Arnold.
Yeah, homies. Shout out to Jaguar Wright, the whole movement. And shout out to you coming back as soon as you get an opportunity.
Just give me a call.
I will. I love you so much.
Around. We got to head out to Atlanta because I'm doing Sheen Magazine. Their award ceremony next week.
Salute.
Yeah. I'm going to sing a song.
Please do. How, Neuro, what is it called? What's the genre?
Which one?
The, what we call Bilal.
Bilal?
Yeah, or What's it called? Neuro Afro. They got us.
Neo Soul.
Yeah, are you?
I'm done.
Don't go too neo soul.
Well, no. Number one, Neo Soul was something that was invented to market what was already here, and that's soul music. Which is why my second album was Divorcing Neo to Marry Soul. But no, actually, I'm going to be doing a track inspired by NRED slightly. I covered Frankie Beverly's Before I Let Go. And I'll be singing that in honor of his life and what he did for me. Uncle Frankie is how I knew him.
Rest in peace, Uncle Frankie.
And salute to everyone else that we've lost along the way this year. It's been a lot, and it's going to be a lot more. You know, Rich Homie Quan, Fat Man Scoop. We're losing a lot.
Man, Randy and Abby. I'm just at them.
Tito freaking Jackson.
Black Box Productions, Cliche 93 TV. Much love, y'all.